Alright, a wonderful good morning everybody and welcome back to my channel, God's Shadow here. What you can see in the background is my last 18 games. First of all, we've seen that I didn't really play a whole lot during the last 3 weeks. Just had a lot of stuff going on in my life. And the other thing that you can pick up here is out of the last 18 games that are being visualized here on this page, I actually only lost one. So that equals out to a 94.5% win percentage, I think. And that's pretty good. And before that, there was here the modern playoffs, which I almost top 8'd. I came in 12th in I believe, 350 player tournament. So I already 5-0'd the league the day before yesterday. So you'll see me in the 5-0 dump on Tuesday, I believe. Or Wizards is actually a little bit delayed with the last one from Thursday, so maybe I'll be in there as well. We shall see. Other than that, I think I like exactly one copy of Plague Engineer in the main and on the sideboard. You could also put it in the sideboard, but I rather have it in the main. Just because it's pretty good both against small creatures and against big creatures. And by just making like any tribal strategy more susceptible to both Lightning Bolt and Kolaghan's Command, it's always like even against control, if you name wizards and they like flashback or cast a snap, cast a mage to flash something back, you most of the time still get a 2-for-1 there or a 2-for-2 at the very least. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty good. And the sideboard, Jigsaw Jailer just remains to be a vital card here. Scorpion God's also back. I also played it in my last 5-0 league. I know everybody's happy to see the God back. Jokes aside, many people or many of you don't really appreciate the God as what it is, and that's just an almost unbeatable mid-range card. And if you're facing like the new Jaunt with all the seasoned pyromancers and Rin 6 or Eldrazi Tron or Maru Pyromancer, whatever, you know, all these strategies that just pack a whole lot of value and are just difficult to have answers for everything. The Scorpion God just shines and is most of the time the biggest threat on the board. If it's not the biggest threat and the Tarmogoyf is like a 6-7, which doesn't happen a whole lot of the times, but could happen, then you can still shrink it down to be lower, and then you just start drawing extra cards. And it's just a super good card. Really like it. So Spell Pierce is also back over Flusterstorm. Also played it in the 5-0 league and then the league before that one. In an open meta, Spell Pierce certainly is the better card, especially if we're just fighting over turns 1 to 3, as it currently stands in 1. Otherwise, though, like Storm, still a pretty potent strategy in 1. And especially online, like when people are trying things out and the meta is just wide open, you can get people with Storm. Storm just has a problem right now because of Hogak, because it just combos off earlier than Storm does, which is insane. But yeah, so that's the thing there. Grim Lavamancer just really good, especially also in combination with Plague Engineer. And then here in the flex slot is Neil Spellbomb. I just want to have something that does interact with a graveyard, but doesn't overlap with the ability of Jigsaw Jailer or Kalitas, so one of Spellbomb here is pretty alright. So I'm not yet, like, Season's Pyromancer is a good mid-range card, right? But it certainly isn't gonna be, like, currently it's probably the best that we can do here in the slot, but it's still not what I want to have in the slot. What I would have liked is Seasoned Pyromancer to just be Pierre Kieran Lar at 3 mana. That would have been just amazing, because Seasoned Pyromancer, most of the time, it's just, you know, either a 2/2 on the board that just draws you 2 cards, which is, you know, a fine rate. It just doesn't do a whole lot on the board for 3 mana cost. And then you can just not do anything with it anymore except for exiling it from the graveyard, but for that to happen it has to first hit the graveyard, etc, etc. So here an ability where I could just shoot stuff, yeah, would have just been better personally, like, for this deck. So, but it's still fine. So let's jump into a league here. One league. And play. Yeah, here, there we are. So I'm very excited for the banned and restricted announcement on Monday. Virtually any content creator that I've met, except for Hoagland, who always has a very special opinion about things, is actually not only anticipating a ban that is going to affect Hogag, but is also advocating a Faithless Looting ban, which I've been telling people. I mean, you've watched my videos. I don't know how long I've been, how do you say? I know the German word, I just don't get the English word for it now. Well, I've been preaching. I've been preaching that for, I think, close to 2 years, that Faithless Looting is just not a healthy card for the format. And to all those people like that are still defending the card, that are apparently not understanding what's going on and just think that we want to kill all the decks. Alright, so Polluted Delta here could be anything, of course. Could also, I'm just gonna start off with another Water Grave here, going alright. So it doesn't look like Esper Shadow. For that, it just has a little too many planeswalkers around. So for the time being, I'm probably going to take Teferi, because that's just going to shut off all of our instant speed interaction, which I would like to prevent. And now we have to see, like, right now as it stands, Kaya does the least, but killing our graveyard and also threatening damage on 5 is also pretty insane. So we'll have to see if we get rid of Kaya here. And I think that does it. Like, we're gonna play this one. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Oh man. Yeah, I think we're gonna take fairy again. Hope that he's gonna play Narset to find something. Kill the Narset with a lightning bolt, and then, yeah, well, we're gonna see how we deal with Kaya. Maximum punish here. It's not even doing anything with it. So I'm not too worried about that. Oh, come on, you gotta be kidding me here. So I want to keep the polluted delta in hand, just so that we can fill our graveyard in case we draw a lodging out at some point. Well, this dude's definitely hitting the graveyard. Alright. Fuck off. Insane. So I'm just gonna wait till he activates his Narset so that we can actually bolt her. And then I'm gonna bounce that Kaya. The good thing is here, he cannot replay her. Oh, we could have even drawn, because it's of course their turn. Yeah, this is a huge problem now. would have to discard and cannot play anything. But as long as he thinks that we actually have something to come on, man, what's going on in this fucking game again? We've literally drawn like 90% lands here. Our opponent has as well. Alright. So now we can hopefully do something here. I'm not exactly sure if our opponent is actually playing counterspells. One path, one Kaya, and one unknown card. Problem now is obviously that we would like to keep the Terminate because of the Colonnade. Yeah, I'm definitely not getting. Oh shit. So let's see. We can deploy it here. So now we have a couple of options. Like he's probably, yeah, he probably does have something. But that was a little late. Like we top 2 cards doing thing that he should have actually done it that way. But anyhow, still not willing to play this season pyromancer here because I want to have the other 2 cards. Kaya is becoming threatening by the minute. More and more threatening, I should say. But on the other hand, Nimble still can prevent the ultimate there. So maybe we just hang on here. Fuck my life. Yeah, and this is like a real issue with Season Pyromancer since you're discarding before you draw. Just really bad. Alright, so I want to check if he does have a cryptic command here. If he's even playing counter magic, because he might as well not be. But that looks to be something like, yeah, might be a cryptic command. Interesting, so that will resolve. That will not resolve though. Great. So now we've gotten rid of that dude without even breaking a sweat. So now this colonnade tag makes just a little sense. In retrospect, of course. So probably want to have a nimble here. Also gonna play the other nimble. All right. Of course, if we run into a sweeper now, we're pretty fucked. On the other hand, though, since it's an Esper list, like against blue-white control, I wouldn't have done this play, but Esper rarely does play anything of that sort, indeed. So I think countering the Snapcaster Mage isn't really worthwhile. I think we're gonna try to counter the Cryptic Commands, because then he cannot activate the Colonnade anymore, and we'll also bait a counter there for. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, and then we can still play the Prologue Engineer to get rid of the Snapcaster Mage. This way we also still have Creeping Torpid open. And we're signaling a cryptic command of ourselves. Yeah, I don't actually mind that. Are we gonna play the Plug Engineer here? Plague Engineer. We might, right? We have 5, 5. Yeah, we can play that one next turn. So we're gonna play Elemental. so that we hit the Celestial Colonnade, and it cannot favorably block Nimble Obstructionist anymore. Yeah, I bet you're looking for something here. That looks to be a sweeper. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, if we can kill the Jace there. Apparently not. Dude's got major lucky here. On the plus side though, we can deploy our 2 Season Pyromancers from the graveyard at instant speed here. But we do have a couple of very important information now. For the next couple of games. Probably attacking with Colonnade here, so that we potentially die next turn. Right, so I would say we're gonna go attacking first. We do have Cryptic Command to back us up. This one and there. So now I believe K-Command is the play. One, two, three, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. So it's pretty risky now what we're doing, but my plan is for him to actually tap out to use both. And then I want to terminate the one and counter the Celestial Colonnade. Sure. So I think in the light of another counter spell here, we need to counter this one already. Yeah, that feels better. So if we draw a lightning bolt, we should be through here. Which we sadly didn't. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Blast zone, alright. And there's only one lightning bolt, like there's still 3 lightning bolts in our 22 cards. And another Kolaghan's command would also do the job here. Nimble, of course, also pretty good. Snap is also alright. Cannot complain about that. So now we could be playing the snap here, but he might have another removal spell in hand, so it's probably better to keep the Snapcaster around, hold this one last turn. Because we have Snap Cryptic, and he didn't have a counterspell there, and he has a Blast Zone, so he has only one answer. And then we should be getting there. What is he going to play here? Do I mind? So it's Blast Zone and nothing, right? I think I'm going to let that Snapcaster resolve. And then we're gonna go, since his Snapcaster resolved before ours, we're just gonna go Cryptic, tap draw. That was not an easy task. I actually, thinking about it, I actually need to get my hands on some fries. And I'm not meaning the potato fries, I'm just like the card fry, the red, 1 generic mana, 1 red, and target blue or white permanent receives 5 damage or something like that, I think. That's definitely a card that I would want to have here. So he does have sweepers. Generally speaking, I wasn't happy with all these. Season Pyromancer is alright, due to the fact that we do have the ability to flash it back from the graveyard, but he has so much insane amounts of graveyard hate that I actually don't want to have it. On that, Terminate probably can go, since he's not really playing any creatures. And then we have to think about either Grim Lava Master, but here's same situation as with Pyromancer, so I'm just gonna go with a Spell Pierce and gonna hope for the best. Spell Pierce, of course, is only good in the early turns, but complemented with Fulminated Mages, that actually gets a little better. Our opponent's playing insane amounts of Planeswalkers. Well, good that I didn't bring the Grim Lava Mances in and I got rid of the others. Problematic here is, of course, for Lodging Knots. That's not great. And him fetching for a basic snow land also probably means that he does have... Well, it could also mean that he just doesn't have another fetch there. But it could also mean that our opponent indeed... except for that one cryptic command, I haven't seen any counterspell, but he was digging for something. So I would imagine that there is actually counter magic in the mix. So could of course run into Teferi here, but then we still can go, like he bounces our Jace, we replay it, kill the Teferi, something like that. Or we just get it pathed, which is probably fine as well. Blue. Which Planeswalker is it gonna be? Alright. Sure. So We could get rid of that Teferi. We could also just go with Fulminated Mage and get rid of the black source. But we probably want to get rid of Teferi as long as we can here, right? Because if he does have counter magic, then could also, of course, pack Force of Negation, but all right, let's see. Want to get the Godless Shrine, of course. On top, on top. Snapcaster Mage, of course, isn't great here. I'm not thinking that our opponent's playing Nimble, and I don't want him to be able to Cryptic. So, gonna do it that way. Next turn we have Fulminated Mage and Inquisition, which is pretty good. Unless he does have a Chase. Kaya. That's fine, I guess. So if he had a Jace, he would have played it. Therefore, we're gonna have a look. Actually had a Force of Negation, but nothing to pitch. Well, that can happen. So right now, I don't think I'm gonna get rid of the Colonnade. We could, of course, but I actually want to hit that Kaya for once. Because right now, just can't do anything with her. I'm not gonna go with Tar Pit here though. That's a little bit too risky for me, for my taste. You have a Cryptic. Are you gonna play the Cryptic? So he certainly does have a couple of dead cards here. Does have the Cryptic, interesting. Counter draw. No, I'm willing to sacrifice that one. Have a look, friend. We're just chipping away here. Logic Knot doesn't give us a whole lot of safety, but it's still enough. Like +2. Interesting. Okay, so he knew about our logic knot. I guess that was just an error here due to the ley line. Well, and he also just didn't have any other option here, so I guess that is a thing either. Alright, good games, opponents. Had all the planeswalkers in the world, but it wasn't enough. Alright, another 2-0, and we're proceeding to $19-1. Alright, I'm gonna take a quick break here, and then I'm gonna be right back with round number 2. Don't go anywhere. Alright, welcome back everybody to round number 2. I actually just got my mouse back online, and either it's really weird to get used to a different mouse again, or something's not correct here with the cursor. Well, we'll try. This mouse should click a little, well, I'm not sure. I thought at least it was a little more silent and less noisy while clicking. That's why I changed them, but you gotta tell me. First game was still with the other mouse. Alright. Maybe that was also the good luck charm, and now we destroyed it. Already lost die roll. I'm gonna keep, but it's not a great hand. Depending on what our opponent plays first here. Humans, against humans, it's just not a good hand. I'm gonna start off with the Black Crypt nonetheless, in order to hopefully get... Oh, I should have read what was going on here. So Ringleader, okay, for 4 mana. I would say we're gonna go after that one, and then we hopefully bought ourselves enough time to get back into the game here. Horrible, horrible, horrible. Alright. Definitely won that one. And before I use the lightning bolt, I probably want to use Rise-Fall. There's no incentive for him here, yeah, to play anything. Skog, Prospector. Alright, the Ringleader is gone, which is good. The Matron is still there, which is not good. Because he can just find more Ringleaders, I believe. And now we also found the mana, alright. So this is probably gonna be a rough turn for us. post board. Well, this is actually not so good for him. Like, you should have used the time that he had there, because now the matron is coming into play, and it's gonna trigger. I'm gonna counter the trigger because we don't want him to have additional stuff coming on here. And we already have the removal, yeah, we just need another land. Alright, so he didn't have anything else to play there. Hopefully not another ringleader in hand. Goes up to 4, then it's probably a ringleader. Let's see. Alright, that is going to be a ringleader. Let's see. You got 4 cards, sure. Oh my goodness. Yeah, so that was slightly unlucky there. I think there's no way of coming back here. So we knew about these two, he still has. These two in hand. Plus probably another matron or something, so that is not gonna work out here. I think we're gonna go with another Thoughtseize here over Cryptic, because they are playing probably 4 Cavern of Souls. I want to be pretty low to the ground for the most part. In this matchup though, these 3 are exceptionally good. Yeah, without the second matron there, fetching up a ringleader, I think we have the game. And that was just pretty unlucky that he just drew another one. Yeah, that is a keep. So we're going to start off with a Grim Pyromancer here. Don't want to hold it back due to the blast zone. 1 and 3 is typically what you want to be having with your counters here, but 2 is also alright. They do have a couple of 2-drops. So this way we play Steamens, Shock, Grim Pyromancer, and then next turn we can protect it from potentially a munitions expert. Although we could also just go in response, do something. Just gonna grab a Black Source here. So War Chief is not a big deal. Pile Driver does only have protection from blue, so we're gonna get rid of this one. And just try to kill the rest as it comes along. I think. Pooh. K command. So I think right now I'm just gonna get rid of the blast zone here. I'm not even sure as to whether or not I wanna show him the Kalitas. Like, we're so far ahead right now that I can hardly believe that he's going to come back. Are we done? We had the munitions expert. Alright. Yeah, he has to do it before it resolves, because otherwise it just deals 0 damage. And that's of course not where you want to be. So that's that one. Probably a ringleader. But that's just not going to be good enough here. I think we can get rid of that one right now. And then he probably should want to reconsider his game plan here for this third game. Oh no, is that okay? Kiki Jiki. That's not such a big deal. I mean, our opponent's deck is insanely grindy. It's also a goblin. Alright, I think we're just gonna kill both here. I guess we'll attack. Weather-wise, it's such a lovely day. Yeah. So our opponent already knows a couple of our tricks now. Munition Expert, of course, is a little bit of a damper for us in regards to especially Grim Lavamancer. But otherwise, I think this is fine. We're just gonna run it back. Not a whole lot of dead cards in our deck. And the velocity is pretty high. So if we get to I'm telling you, this mouse is gonna cost me at least one game where I don't click where I want to click. Something of that sort. So we haven't seen a Chalice yet. And our opponent's on mulligan. Goblin Pile Driver and a Vial. Alright then. So we need to fetch shock anyway, unless we want to go with Creeping Tar Pit here. The Pile Driver itself is not a big deal, since protection from blue is somewhat irrelevant. So I think I'm just gonna go with the Tar Pit here. And then turn 2 we can have kill something and Thoughtseize him. Alright, so Munition Expert at some point is going to be problematic. Mad Auntie, regenerate another target goblin. It's alright, I guess, but it's not super great. And Goblin Ringleader, of course, is just the best card they have. We do have Snapcaster to flashback stuff at some point, but as long as we don't have a target or don't give him a target for the Munition Expert, I guess that's kind of not on the menu anyway. So I want to go after, we have enough time here, so I'm just going to take all the time I need. So he definitely needs another land, but he needs to take up that one anyway. He can already play that one, so he's at least going to go up to 3. How problematic is this one going to be? I think I'm going to go after Mad Auntie here first. And then we'll just pick it up from here. We know that Ringleader is going to come at some point if he wants to vial it in. Alright. Perfect. Right. See what he does here with the Ethyl. Goes up to 3, alright. I think we want to force the issue here before he gets to draw another card. Maybe not, just because if he draws a land here, he's probably going to go after the ringleader. Yeah. And then we just get a clean shot here with the munition expert still in his hand. And then we have Gromlavamancer up. And I think that's beautiful. So now we're in a somewhat comfortable controlling situation here. And yeah, I think we want to get the Lavamancer down here. Can just pump. Yeah. This thing. Oh, Cavern's bad for us. So I guess he just has a 2-mana creature here. Or something with low power and toughness. So we're gonna turn off the heat, turn up the heat here a little. Of course, could also be a munition expert, but I guess then he would have already tried it. War Chief, eh? I want to keep back the Grim Lavamancer, because potentially a Lightning Bolt and a Lavamancer to the face are already lethal next turn. Marshall. Alright. Yeah, I don't actually mind that, I think. We already have lethal. Didn't mean to be a scumbag here. What is he saying? All these noises. Alright, so opponent tilted. I'm gonna cut the video short here so that you don't have to wait through all of eternity here, but we should have won the game. So I guess it's a 2-0 and a 20-1. Alright, welcome back to round number 3, everybody. Let's play match. By the way, I want to thank Raf for his support, and he wants to see Nicol Bolas, the Ravager, being played again. We've already tested it and played it in the past to some success, and maybe we'll do it again at some point. So we're on the draw here with a, well, hand that is not yet functional, but could be sculpted into something that is alright, but that depends very much on what we're playing against. Snow-covered mountain. I think I'm going to start out with the Steam Ends here. Since we do have the Swarm there. Yeah, so Ether Vial probably means that Plague Engineer is pretty darn good here. Since we don't have a good turn 2 play, I'm just gonna try to challenge his hand with Rise 4. And by going with Steam Ends here, we're actually saving a little bit of life. Now our Cryptic Command's also operational. Alright, no land is pretty good, because that means that Rise 4 will hit big time. Probably humans, I guess. But why would humans be playing a snow-covered land? This is Noble Hierarch? Alright. Alright, still an alright hit, and next turn we can go with Kolgan's Command. Unless he's gonna violin a freebooter here. Lucky you, friend. Lucky you. Otherwise, things would have been devastating here. But still, our opponent is has been thrown back. Okay, that is a good 2-card combination here. So see you and goodbye. The thing is, like, now so many of his cards are just dead. Reflective Mage. Alright. So we're just getting hit by 2 a turn here. And that's quite doable. So I say we probably go shock this one and then bold the Meddling Mage. Snap bolt the Man Strider. Plague Engineer is really pulling a lot of weight in these types of matchups. And the good thing about Plague Engineer is also that it's even good against something like Eldrazi because of Death Touch, where the static ability is not really great. Alright, but a one-off is probably the perfect number. Like, I wouldn't want to play more, as I already said before. So this is gonna come in. It's a London Mulligan here. So what we're gonna do here is get rid of Cryptic Command, since that's not only the weakest card in our hand, it's also the one that is most easily exploited by our human opponents here. So I'm probably gonna go with Polluted Delta, fetching blue-red here instead of Scalding Torrent, because we need double black and double red. Alright, that makes it somewhat easier. Don't actually mind having so many fetch lands right now, because that's the easiest way for us to fill our graveyard. Freebooter. That's weird in a couple of ways, because on the one hand, it doesn't take anything. On the other hand, though, he knows that we could free up anything that he takes there. So I guess I just assume that he wasn't actually planning on. So Snapcaster Mage currently not really great. Ricefall could come in handy at some point. So one could have said that Noble Hierarch here wouldn't be worth the target because of Plague Engineer, but on the one hand, he might have a Meddling Mage coming up, which probably names our Plague Engineer. On the other hand, I want to slow him down. Yeah. So now exactly what I thought would happen happened. Thalia, don't care. Phantasmal Image, also don't really care. Meddling Mage is gonna die. So I guess Phantasmal Image is still the most potent in theory. So I guess our friends here are just realizing that it's pretty much over.
humans really has to come up with a solution to Plague Engineer. So that's a pretty good card. Alright, good games. That was pretty crisp. I think let's see how long we played, but, well, 17 minutes, that's fine. Alright, be right back with round number 4. Alright, still back on track here. In round number 4. So if you've gotten Seasoned Pyromancers for Grixis control, if you're going more of a mid-range deck, I mean, you can probably keep them if you want to go like all on discard and a very proactive shell. But in any other case, you can probably safely sell them because the price is pretty good right now. Seasoned Pyromancer suffers from the same flaw in this shell as Young Pyromancer did during its time. Oh, maybe it's shining here. And that flaw is that you're being forced to be proactive. That's probably a pheonix deck, and that's probably very bad for us. The only other possibility is Storm. Also, like, from a game design perspective, I think that they should create more restrictions to snow-covered lands, because otherwise they're just superior basics in the medium run. So if his last spell here is gonna be a surgical and he's gonna go after our Bloodstained Mire, then he's actually hitting something in our hand, which isn't great. Lava Dart. Okay, weird. Another K command. So we could either go with Seasoned Pyromancer here, discarding well, honestly, what's going on? discarding like Kolaghan's Command and Lightning Bolt or something, but that's just not feasible. And just for the sake of a 2/2. So this might be Aria of Flame. Thing in the eyes, alright. Sure. So since he didn't discard a bird there last time, I guess they do not have too many birds in hand. Definitely need to get rid of Thing in the Eyes before anything else happens. Gotcha, alright. I guess this makes it a little easier for us. So if he had a Mono Foes here, that would probably be pretty bad. In the sense that we could be hit by, like, we cannot let it flip, otherwise we have a real big problem. Yeah, I knew it. Last card in hand was a Mono Foes. If he had drawn another land there, and then he would have just flipped the Thing in the Ice, and that would have probably spelled our death. Or we could have blocked it with Seasoned Pyromancer for a bit, but still not amazing. Alright, so what we're going to do here is we're going to play the Jace, see if he does have removal, then end of turn go with Nimble, and then draw 2 cards with Seasoned Pyromancer. Probably Magmatic Sinkhole here, which is fine because any card that he doesn't have in hand is a card that he won't be able to use to get back phoenixes. Hardcast Phoenix here, potentially. Actually, not sure if I want to counter that. Probably let it through. Oh, finally, I've promised. Okay. All right. So obviously this is pretty good 2 cards on the bottom. Alright, so setup hasn't worked. So since he's discarded already 2 gut shots, he still has a Lava Dart, which of course is somewhat annoying. Apparently he doesn't yet want to. Another finally of Crumbs, great. Alright, drawing, oh shit, just clicked there. That was not so good, especially in a racing situation. That's of course not great, because we could have made great use of it next turn and still kept up Logic Knot. So I guess Lava Dart Phoenix. Alright. Faithless Looting, looking for one more spell, and then he's gonna Lava Dart. Not finding any more Phoenixes though. Oh, Lava Dart from hand. Is he gonna go double Lava Dart or Seasoned Pyromancer? Alright. I wonder if that was by mistake or not. So I want to have both of these, I guess, in this order. And I think I'm also gonna go ahead here and attack. If he blocks, that's fine, because then he's forced to actually put the spells together there. We can just get it back from the graveyard. Fiery Island. That's pretty good. So Area of Flame is actually quite interesting, because we could let it resolve, still have, like, he's gonna go play 2 Lava Darts in order to get back the Arclight Phoenix. Unless he wants to hold them for Creeping Tar Pit. So this turn we should definitely get out of this with a net positive. And then next turn we could just bounce it with Cryptic Command. He's keeping the Lava Darts here. Just in case, I guess. Alright. I actually don't know if... Okay, he's actually going after those. So now we're gonna go... return that one. Actually not sure. 1, 2, 3, 4. He's got a lava dart. 5 damage plus 3. Lightning bolt would be lethal. And he only has the other lava dart to accommodate the one that he already has. Yeah, I think I'm gonna let this resolve as well. Play all planeswalkers, so he can't hit our creatures. Let's see if he has a bolt. Great. So problem is that Grim Lavamancer virtually dies to anything in their deck. So probably just Spell Pierces, that one. Jixit Jailer's the same story. Jace is still fine because they need a lightning bolt to kill it. Here, Plague Engineer is not really good. Could block a thing in the eyes at some point, but for that it has flip first and stuff, so that's probably also not something that we would want to do. I'm leaving Pyromancer in here because we could be running into Blood Moon, and there it actually is pretty good. I think I'm gonna shave a little in Cryptic Commands. Can't get rid of it completely because our opponent's probably also gonna bring in counter magic. But just not being too reliant on blue there might be something that we want to do. Yeah, we're gonna keep that one. Don't really have a way to deal with Thing in the Eyes, except for the Blast Zone maybe. So usually we would like to go with Creeping Torpid here. I think they are not actually playing Pyromancer Ascension anymore, but one cannot be cautious enough. So Aria of Flame. No. Ah, there's something. something that he's thinking about deploying here. I guess he's not playing force. Do I want to save life or do I not want to save life here? So I guess that was the spell pierce that it was meant to protect whatever he's going to play now, that turn. So I'm going to play spell Cements tapped. Hit a pheonix, that's bad. And they also have access to magmatic sinkhole, so I'm going to stop him right there. Don't want to get the pheonix back here, and next turn we have Cryptic Command. Plus additional value, which is pretty nice. Aria of Flame. Seems pretty loose. So to a certain degree, I would like to play Icefall here, but I even more like I want to have a second black source first to get down Kalitas, because I don't want to be running into a Blood Moon, but Blood Moon would probably kill himself or something else of that sort. Yeah, I think now it's time to fall here. Narset and Aria Flame. Certainly two buff mediocre hits. Really sad that we don't draw another black source here, otherwise we could really start doing something here. And as long as we can get rid of those phoenixes, we're good. We are somewhat constrained. I think I'm going to counter this. The only card that should trigger phoenixes here is Mana of Foes. Oh, come on. So we haven't seen, well, we have seen one bolt. Now the black swords would also, of course, enable our Cripping Tar Pit, which would just be pretty good. Yeah, I'm gonna let that resolve, because then if he's playing another spell, we can counter it, and he's not gonna be able to bring back the phoenixes, 3 of them. And this should probably be... actually... maybe. Let's hope the last card in his hand is not a gut shot. Apparently he has something to do. Nope. Alright. That's a good one. I think he just gave up. Perfect. 4-0, even winning phoenixes. That is great. And I lost count of our streak here, but I think 22-1. Yeah, 22-1 should be alright. Since this is the London Mulligan here, we can take ourselves a little bit of liberty in regards to taking a mulligan on the draw. I think this hand is substantially better. So if we hadn't drawn the lightning bolt here, I might have gone with a Serum Visions in the first turn. But with the lightning bolt and we still not knowing what's actually happening on our opponent's side, I do want to have a double spell turn. Unless this is Thalia, then that would be horrible, of course, but I guess it's some sort of Druid combo or something. Yep. Alright. So, of course, the best thing to do here would be Inquisition and Lightning Bolt, but we would only be able to do so if we knew we were going to draw another land. So for that reason, I want to first have a look here. Top, kill that one. And then next turn we have Lodging Knot up and Inquisition or Snapcaster Bolt. Something of that sort. Yep. So now, up until now, we don't have anything that we really want to get rid of. But Seasoned Pyromancer could be... oh my goodness. So he has multiple ways to acquire the combo here. I do not mind the Eternal Witness anymore. So he's probably gonna go Devoted Druid Birds. Probably have to get rid of Core of Calling though. And then terminate the Devoted Druid. This has to be red source. Also pretty nice here is that Plague Engineer actually, if we call human, this is also human, all these just die without being able to. I don't even know if they can win against that. And we have the same issue here with Seasoned Pyromancer that we had before. Really don't like it. So let's see if he's gonna go with Nurturing Peatland, because if he does, then we might potentially be able to strand him. With too few mana sources. So on the one hand, I want to kill stuff. On the other hand, we also need to get rid of the cards in our hand. So I guess we're still gonna go after the combo pieces and try to this might actually be pretty good. Let's see. This next turn we could theoretically go with Inquisition, or of course another. He's attacking with that one as well. Might be another Witness, I guess. Company. Alright. So I think we're going to terminate here. Hopefully land. So that we can go Pyromancer, draw 2 cards. Cryptic Command is pretty good. The last one is also pretty good. Jace. Inquisition. Don't think that Kitchen Finks is too relevant here. Blaustone is definitely going to come in handy against those birds. Yeah, I might just go ahead here and pop it. Sorry for the background noise. A reason being because the one land isn't really detrimental here, and the one toughness power here. That's fine. We still have Terminate up. Courser, well, that is annoying. That should have been your next draw. But anyhow. So Eternal Witness is coming up. I actually think that I want to go kill the thing, have it come back, since there are already 3 in the graveyard of the Viziers. And I think it doesn't remove colors, right? Yeah, so it will stay this way. Oh, a Plague Engineer. Probably naming Elemental, I guess. Because that will also hit our Recruiting Turret. Yeah, we cannot get rid of... Yeah. That's somewhat annoying, I have to admit. But we can let Eternal Witness. Huh. Ooh. Interesting, interesting, interesting. I think we're gonna go there and then I'll name Human. Because then the Eternal Witness can't actually generate value. It's just a swap. Yeah, you wish. Bull, of course, would have been the best. Human should be pretty critical for him. Even so. Alright, so goes there again. We were gonna attack. And then we're trying to get rid of the Plague Engineer. and attack with Creeping Tar Pit. Because I think, like, as long as we have that Plague Engineer on the battlefield here, he should not be able to combo. Another? Oh man, that is a joke. The third company here. Pretty insane. So now he actually has to think about getting another... Okay. Alright, nothing goes. Oh, we lost a lot of time here. I had to have a short conversation like I'm visiting my parents during the weekend. And damn it. So I think the Plague Engineer actually has to stand back here. Season Pyromancer does not help us yet. Next turn we have Lightning Bolt. Actually, what happens? No, then no, it's fine. Yeah, he's thinking about like going or shooting off that collected company in the sand right now. It's sad. I thought the backside here of the card would also be human, like a werewolf / human, but my goodness, not the best here. Yeah, I think we might have to defend here, depending on what he draws and plays. Like, what can he do? He plays for, lets one open, gets back, cracks that one. I think if we lose the Plague Engineer, we instantly just lose. Therefore, I'm going to keep back the Creeping Tar Pit. Interesting. So let's see. What's his best option here? Like if we block the kitchen things, then he could of course get it back. And thereby gain a bit of life. Sorry. Yep. More kitchen things. Great. Yeah, we need to draw something now. No way around it. Lightning bolt. Does that help us? We definitely need to attack with this person. Now next turn we can win, but for that to happen, he's not allowed to get the other kitchen things back. No, he actually is, because he wouldn't need to use both horizon lands. Which means if we go after Devoted Druid here and assume that he doesn't have anything else, then he doesn't. Oh no, of course not. Then we will lack the lightning bolt. Alright. Yep. Alright, so currently we're 2 damage short. It's all come down to whatever we're gonna draw off the top, and I'm willing to take the risk. It's basically, nope, not another land. Basically anything but a land would have been great. Alright, so I want to have this one, definitely Kalitas. This one's pretty good as well. From pyromancer. Thing is, we could theoretically go after the lands with Fulminator Mage, because most of their, like the Devoted Druids, all only generate green mana. If we keep the board clear. Alright, definitely need colored mana sources here. But if we get one or two, that's pretty good. Okay. bottom, top, go. Let's just hope that we can find a red source before. Okay, interesting. No play by our opponent. Sin Collector. And another Plague Engineer. So we will have, let's see. He also has a Witness, of course. Might be the best here to just go after the Witness. Kill the Devoted Druid as it comes down. Yeah, we definitely need to look for Kalitas. Otherwise, this task might prove problematic. So Sin Collector is probably gonna get our Rise full. Pretty sure. But in spite of that, Sin Collector by itself is a pretty weak card. Now we still know that he does have Plague Engineer. So let's hope that he's just gonna play it on Elemental. Actually surprised that our opponent kept in Plague Engineer. Really need another red source here. I think I'm gonna go after the Vizier of Remedies. Interesting. Why would he not be attacking with Sin Collector? Yes, that answers my question. So our opponent actually, I mean, has an insane draw here. Like through multiple 8 pieces, still pretty insane. So let's see. How about I get down Grim Lavamancer to force him to play Plague Engineer. Then either he runs the Plague Engineer into our Cryptic, which would be fine, or we just put Blast Zone on 3, which is also fine. So we take 5. 5 is pretty a lot. Finally. Good. What's going on now? Okay, it can't be that. Let's see. Is there anything else that we need? Really not too happy about Nimbles, I have to say. I'm actually not sure. Jigsaw Jailer could prevent kitchen things from going bad, but as I said, I'm not sure about that one. I think we're just gonna go with the discard spells here and then discard them to Season Pyromancer if necessary. Hopefully that's good enough. Come on. That's also not a good hand. It's actually pretty bad. And our opponent kept. I actually think that we get rid of Cryptic Command here instead of the... He's definitely betting on this bird here. Yeah. Shit. What a keep by our opponent. Let's see, what do we need to take here? Ooze is annoying, Visit Remedies, of course. It's threatening. Boy, if we can get rid of that bird next turn, that would be amazing. And all we need to draw is either a black source, a red source, or a lightning bolt. I'm actually not sure. Sasquatch Recruiters fallen. Do we already have to go after a Visit of Remedies? Probably. So that's also just pure value with kitchen things, etc. Come on, give us a bolt. Oh, come on. Opponent being super lucky here again. I guess we're still gonna go after the bird. So great, of course, but Recruiter. take the one he can play and hope. So one more land and we have Scorpion God online. And I hope that we survive until then. Our opponent seems to be somewhat stranded here. Unless something at instant speed's coming along. Alright, so we're going to keep the Snapcaster Mage back now. Alright, what's going on here? What could you possibly have? Come on, land. Yeah, it's okay. There we go. So one more turn here, no play by our opponent. Will be great. We wouldn't need to, but this way it makes it easier for us to actually kill the Kitchen Finks with Scorpion God and draw a card. Don't really care about the 2 life. There we go. What do you have, friend? That probably means that he does have a collected company here. Which of course is not good. Or he just intends to draw cards. Which is pretty alright. So let's see. Could be playing the Grim Pyromancer here. But then we don't have Logic Knot up anymore. He apparently just wants to cash in the clue tokens in order to search what I assume to be a path. I guess it's best for us right now to maintain the position. Oh, it's actually a company. Almost clicked on the island. That would have been possible. Alright, so we're still in the game. Still in the game. Let's see what you do, opponent. So terminate gets rid of Tireless Tracker. can't be serious. Man, you should do these kinds of things in your main phase, honestly. Alright, now we do have a problem though, because now we can attack. We could double block him. Can 4 still 6? Right, or am I just mistaken here? Can only do 3, so both die. But we get ours back. Good with that. Alright, what is going on, people? Back-to-back 5-0s and we're still unbeaten. Like, we're 23-1. Yeah. Alright, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed the league. I think it was a lot of fun. I hope you enjoyed the deck. As I said, Season Pyromancer are not a thing I want to have in here in the coming turns. But other than that, just amazing. Plague Engineer was great. Scorpion God, as always, just amazing. Grim Lavamancer, amazing. Everything great. So, thanks for the support, guys. Especially to Rafa again. Thank you for your support. And have a great weekend, guys.